Welcome to Opinion. I realized something this week. And you know what I realized? I realized that this hate, this concept of hate, it is not in common people. People to people, there is no hate. Maithis to cookies, there was no hate per se. Cookies to Maithis either. No hate per se. Hindus to Muslims, people to people, no hate. A lot of people who've been to Pakistan, who have worked with a lot of journalists in Pakistan, would always tell me, people to people, there also there's no hate. There's no hate between a common Indian and a common Pakistani. There's no hate. So what I realized is, hate is not within us. Hate is being created into us. Hate is being created into us. And the reason why hate is created is so that we can be divided. The reason why we need to be divided is because only by division can you rule. And the fact is, the easiest way to attain leadership is through divisive tactics. What I mean by that, all this you have heard before. I know all this you have heard before. But if you look at it, if you look at it from another perspective, you see, leadership is either achieved by example, by setting an example. So a Sachin Tendulkar, they say, was hardly captained India, but he was an uncrowned king of Indian cricket. Even when he was playing, he was almost like a captain. There was no player on the field who would not listen to him. Why? Because he set an example. A fabulous cricketer who set the example by saying that, listen, you know what? I'm great in cricket, so I'm the leader. Mahatma Gandhi did it. His life was his teaching. Mahatma Gandhi did it. But then, as life progressed, I think this quality of leadership started diminishing in our country. The leader today and the leader we had 25 years back are very different. Because the leader we had 25 years back, a lot of them were young, a lot of current leaders were young leaders then, but the leaders we had 25 years back was far better than the leaders today. And the leaders we had 50 years back was far better than the leaders we had 25 years back. And possibly the leaders we had 100 years back was far, far better than the leaders we had 50 years back, 25 years back, or today. Which means that if you actually go to see, the leadership has deteriorated. The quality of leadership has deteriorated. So, therefore, what happens is, one moves out of concepts like teaching by example, leading by example, concept of leading by sheer talent, concept of leading by sheer efficiency, or concept of leading by sheer understanding. That changes to things like leading by divisive politics, leading by division of society, dividing society, social engineering as they call it, some of them. All these terms have started emerging. It is not that British didn't do it on all of that. Because British neither had talent nor had a leadership quality nor had any good things to teach Indians. So they had to do all of that, and we've come back to that. It's like some kind of a circle. We have come back to the same thing. Today, every leader is trying to divide. Every leader. Some are doing it openly, some are doing it covertly, but they are trying to divide. And every opportunity, you see, the fact is, it is not just about leaders now anymore. It is also about cultural leadership. Even cultural leaders, people who call themselves cultural organization, Baba, not political organization, even cultural organizations today are doing nothing but dividing, because only by dividing can they get more people into their organization. And that is why every day morning they come to office and say, "Ab aaj kaisa divide karne ka?" And that's a fact. Because when you speak to two warring factions, two factions that are fighting, but when you speak to people, end of the day, they all come out with good things only. I'm giving you an example of Manipur. A few interviews I did, but there are a lot of people I spoke to because, like I said, I wanted to be very responsible before I start reporting Manipur. I said that in my interview 2 months back, 3 months back, 2 months back. You see, I wanted to be responsible. So the point is, I had spoken to a lot of people to actually understand what is happening. Both Kukis and Maithis. I even spoke to Nagas. I even spoke to, people who are kind of, there are various sects, by the way. I spoke to a lot of people from Manipur. And I realized if you talk to a Kuki, end of the day, after all that Kuki says about Meithis, aisa, waisa, hamare mein aisa nahi hota hai, they do this way, we don't do it this way and all that. But end of the day, they say, no, yeah, my aunt, is married to a Maithi. My brother's wife is a Maithi. And in other, my sister's husband is a Kuki, or my uncle is a Kuki, or my aunt is a Kuki. And they're very nice. So the point is, hearts of hearts, everybody is happy with everybody. Everybody loves everybody. Everybody wants everybody. I asked a lot of questions. I went to a function, a youth conference. Some kids, they had put up a conference, my old college. I had gone to attend it. They had invited me and, I found a lot of people very influenced by right-wing ideology. A lot of people told me that, it is important that, we have Hindu ideology because end of the day, Hindus have been tormented, tortured, that, this and the other. So I picked up, this is something that I normally do. I picked up 5 people and I said, listen, name 5 people, 5 Muslims who have troubled you. Name 5 Muslims who have troubled you. And I say the same thing to Muslims also. Name 5 Hindus who have troubled you. Chances are a Muslim will have more Muslims who have troubled them and a Hindus will have more Hindus who have troubled him. Rather than having Muslims and Hindus, rather than them having 5 Muslims, possibly most of them I spoke to, actually, most of the Hindus I spoke to, they didn't have a single Muslim who troubled them. And I'm sure the story is vice versa. So, end of the day, this is one thing that I think, I don't know when will we realize this, that we have been played and played for a political advantage. When that political party who is playing us, when they want to tie up with a whatever communal party, they tie up. Because that's their advantage. That is their advantage. They tie up. But we cannot go and be friends with the people they want us to be enemies of. We cannot do that. How strange that is. Now that's one. Secondly, this concept of multiple monarchy. I spoke about that in my editorial day before yesterday. This concept of multiple monarchy. This multiple monarchy thing seems to be growing in India. This multiple monarchy thing seems to be growing in India. Every person who gets a uniform, be a Havaldar, be an inspector, be a IPS, be a commissioner, every person who gets a uniform thinks that he is God. Every person who is branded as a bureaucrat, IAS or whatever, regional service, even a government officer, they all start thinking that they are monarchs. Our politician already thinks that he or she is a monarch. Our politician, that is the normal. That they already think. You see, this concept of thinking that they are monarchs, this concept seems to be spreading. I spoke about IAS officers slapping people. I spoke about who gives these people rights? You give them. You give them. You give these bureaucrats, these people rights to sit over your head, to kind of, you go bending in front of them. See, I sincerely hope our UPSC is supposed to be one of the best in the world. UPSC exams are supposed to be one of the most toughest exams in the world, which means you've got the best brains that you pick up in the country. They say it's better and more tougher than IIT. You have the best brains. Can't the UPSC, at least politicians, we don't know how to change. But UPSC we can. Because if your training, if your curriculum changes this concept of being lords, the very first day when the person becomes a probationer, he starts thinking that he is God. And 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from his service, he literally thinks that the whole world is run because of him or her. All goodness in this world is emanating out of that person, is what that person feels, and this is my personal experience. And I've got a lot of it. They start talking like that. All good that emanates is thanks to them. All advices of social good is what comes from them. Can't the training program of these UPSC officers be revisited? Can't they be told that they are public servants, like a CEO in a corporate company, like a vice president marketing in a corporate company, like an executive director in a corporate company, who are all from good, fabulous institutes, intelligent person who runs the organization. These are fabulous, intelligent individuals who runs the government. That's it. That's it. There is no other privilege that these people should take it as theirs. We have a large rural population. And in this rural population, most of these people, they dominate. They literally are worshipped. I have seen events where these people sit in the chair and rest of them sits on ground. I've seen events. I've seen events where these people treat others like inhuman. I've seen it. And it's my opinion, so I can say it. I have seen it. It has to stop. It has to stop because we are getting into this concept of multiple monarchy. A local tehsildar to a local collector, to a local to the chief secretary, to the chief minister. Everybody is monarch. Everybody is monarch. Same is the case with police force. A local inspector, sub-inspector in the area to the top man. Everybody is monarch. Everybody is monarch. Either the people have to wake up or the body, UPSC, has to wake up and think about this. Is this the India that you want? Till I see you next time, that is next Sunday on my favorite program, that's Opinion. Namaskar.